Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the instant match reaction to Arsenal 2, Everton 0. Everton going down to 2 goals in the space of just a couple of minutes in the second half. Really disappointed because I thought we played for 55 minutes. I thought we were excellent. I thought we started the game so well. We pressed high up, we nicked the ball, and really we should have been 1-0 up after a couple of minutes. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's got on the end of a pass, and he's got Richarlison square to him. He tries to go around the goalkeeper, doesn't make connection with the ball, and Petr Cech clears it. Walcott had another similar chance later on in the second half where it's not a very good first touch, and it allows the ball to get too close to Petr Cech, and he can't nick it over him. And that was really the story of the day. We've ended up having 9 shots, 6 on target, 9 corners, and we look good going forward. We look good in midfield. We just can't score. That's the problem, and ultimately that's what cost us in this game. I'm looking at Twitter there, and it's like Armageddon. People, oh, that was terrible. It wasn't terrible at all. For 55 minutes, we were excellent. And again, one of the big criticisms I've had to say of that game was after going 2-0 down, it took us 15, 20 minutes to get going again. And again, this is something as an Everton, and we're used to as Evertonians, but we've got to start getting rid of this mentality. If you go a goal behind, you've got to shake it off and just get back up and have a go, and we didn't. And we've gone behind with a bit of class from Lacazette, a good finish. And that's what was missing from our performance. We had chances from Richarlison as well, a couple of good efforts on goal, and it was looking really exciting, but we just couldn't score. And they get their, they had an opportunity in the first half, and maybe the prospect of a penalty, maybe prospect of a handball in the second half as well, and they've put it away. And then we're punished, not long after. Michael Keane tries to step up, John Joe Kenny doesn't, even though they're both on the same line. They get through, and Aubameyang is offside, clearly offside by a foot when he puts it in. 2 years in a row he's been offside, and it's given. It's an absolute farce. Whether you think that's a main problem of this game, it's up to you, but I do, because I just think it's a farce again. VAR needs to come in. And I know what Arsenal fans will say, they didn't get the handball. Well, the ref didn't give the handball. He didn't, and to him, that wasn't handball. Maybe VAR would say it was handball, fair enough, but at the end of the day, the referee seen it and said it wasn't handball. But the linesman didn't see that Aubameyang is clearly offside, and that was 2-0, and that's game over. Disappointed in how we reacted, as I said. We just stopped after that, and we didn't really get going until the last 5-10 minutes, where we had another little go. I think Digne hit the post with a cross, but again, we haven't really threatened. We've had Michael Keane had a header from a set piece. Really, he should have scored. Really, but we've had 6 on target there. We've made the keeper make some big saves there. And that's what I'm more disappointed about. And we're going to have to get this sorted, because it's, whoever he puts up front, the chances are falling to them and they're not taking them. It's okay saying the man in the middle is a foil for the 2 wide men, but if they're not hitting the target, someone needs to be scoring. It annoys me, and I've just spoke about it on Twitter, about this idea of not replacing Romelu Lukaku. Now, I fully understand the sentiments of that, but we sold him for £100 million. He plays for one of the top sides, if you like. So how do we replace someone like Romelu Lukaku? Well, you've got to go out and try and buy someone on the up right before he's on the top. He's on the top 6 radar, and that's what I suppose we tried to do with Cenk Tosun. It hasn't quite worked. We went out and spent 40 million on Richarlison, who looks like a player, and we spent 10 million on Wayne Rooney, who was our top goal scorer last season. So there's 80 million of that 100 million on 3 strikers. Unfortunately, how can you replace a Romelu Lukaku? Now, fair enough, you can go out there and buy a player like Romelu Lukaku, but who are these people? Where are they? We haven't done that. We need to go and buy a striker, a clinical striker, a striker who maybe even like a striker with a bit of Premier League experience that is going to score goals for you. It's going to score you those guaranteed goals. But I just don't buy this argument of we never replaced them, because I just don't see how you can replace a Romelu Lukaku. Because if there was a player out there like Romelu Lukaku, someone else in the top six would snap him up. That's the problem we face. That really is. You're buying a prospect, which is what we've done with Cenk Tosun. It hasn't quite worked out. With Dominic Calvert-Lewin, you've got to play a young player that you're hoping will come good. Again, that's what you're buying. And unfortunately, it hasn't happened. Even with Richarlison, we paid a lot of money for. A lot of people laughed and sneered at us when we paid that money. But that's what you're buying, and that's what you're paying 40 million for, prospect. And he's playing well, but he needs to score today. He had a couple of chances. He needs to take one of those chances. So hugely disappointing from that point of view. But I thought, as I said, for the first 55 minutes, I thought we played really, really well. And the biggest disappointment is we haven't scored. And that's something, that's 2 games in a row. Last week, we scored 1 and really should have scored 3 or 4, the chances we had. And today's the same. We've got to be taking a couple of those chances if we're going to win a game like that. And sadly, that's the difference. And unfortunately, what can we do? We're going to have to start. I'm not saying we need to look over our shoulder, but we need to find a way of putting the ball in the back of the net. Because if we don't, that defines where you finish in the Premier League. Teams will scrape through games 2-1, 3-2, teams who concede goals. But if we're not scoring goals, we're going to find ourselves not winning games. And ultimately, that's what you've got to do. So, hugely disappointing day at the Emirates. I think for a long time there, we all thought this might be the year, but it's not to be. And again, what is the linesman doing for that second goal? I don't know. But, we don't seem to get the rub of the green. But you shouldn't need the rub of the green. It's clearly offside. So, on another day, we could be talking more positively, but this is Everton, isn't it? So, let all the doom merchants out there have their say. As Davis is terrible, Calvert-Lewin's terrible, everyone's terrible. But, the manager's put the team out today, and that's the team he's picked. So if you're having a go with the players, you're having a go with them. And I'm not quite ready to start to really get into this manager yet, because I just don't think he's had a chance to put his mark on this side yet. So, disappointing result, but hopefully we'll bounce back next week. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Arsenal 2, Everton 0. See you later.